Actually live? Are we live?
Yeah, yeah, we are. We are.
Oh, wow, I love that.
Hello, girls. This is so lovely to be here. Hello, Nick. Hello, Maria. Hello, Mel. It's lovely. Nice to come back on again, isn't it? Anyway,
we've never done that 30-second thing. I feel so professional now.
I know, I may. I feel like we've upped our game a little bit.
A little, yeah.
Oh,
Just
from
a little.
was Sarah. Hello,
It's
Sarah.
Sarah.
Hey,
Hi.
Levi, all right?
How am I? I'm actually pretty good. I need to be a little mindful of how to word this, but I had a really good conversation with. We'll talk about this a little bit more in depth after we when we do our own like OnlyFans after show that you guys won't be able to watch.
Oh yeah, you can. We're all for a lot bumping up our PayPal, so Hello,
Exactly.
Priscilla. Hello, Rachel, Ray, and everybody else who's.
Oh, isn't Priscilla just always like the sweetest?
Yep,
Yeah.
everybody's lovely, and it's just lovely to have everyone here. So tonight, we kind of had a chat, and I said, why don't we talk about where tarot's kind of gone or maybe not going, and then Levi says, well, why don't we talk about what our boring decks are? And to be quite honest, because I gave so many
Yeah.
away,
I don't really have that many boring decks
but
anymore,
I
to be
do.
honest.
I've actually hunted down three, and three's enough because that took me a while because that was hidden on the back of the beyond the dolls actually. So
So I don't have any boring decks anymore. However, I do have lots of opinions about, things I would rather not see anymore.
yeah, well, we can talk about what's. I mean, I've noticed obviously because I'm still very much active on Instagram, regardless of what I'm posting on there. I'm still seeing posts,
Yeah.
and I've noticed that tarot kind of tends to have it seems to be dying a little death at the moment.
Yeah,
We
it's quite sad.
maybe is a good thing because it'll weed out all the bullshit like TikTok readers and all these people who come on thinking they could make a living and get millionaires by doing readings, and they found out they could make fuck all. So
The council estate readers.
yeah, the ones who used to be on QVC and all that, them kind of people. We always look at that. We are color coordinated. Look at that.
Yeah, very much. How do you like my new yoga vest? Not that I do any yoga in it, but
Well, do you like my new sports top? Not considering not do any fucking sports.
exactly. There's once this like fake commercial about yoga pants that are perfect for couch,
Oh, well, yeah,
reaching
that's
over to the table to grab more food.
very much me. Yeah, it's right. Nicholas says maybe people will stop buying inside editions decks. Well, maybe we can keep our fingers crossed on that one, and also Seco or Chico books as well.
If I
Uh,
hear another person say, "Ooh, but they're getting better, like they're getting better," yeah, and they're getting so much.
no,
And most of these people are actually buying this shit with their own money.
well, the best one I saw, I think it was last year or maybe the year before, was somebody on their channel that says, let's do a deep dive into the Buffy the Vampire Slayer deck. I'm like, oh my fucking God, kill them.
And Buffy the Vampire Slayer is considered an amazing Inside Editions deck, which considering all things, if we just take the deck portion of the deck, it is pretty good. But then the guidebook has write ups for cards that have completely different art, and I'm like, how is this good?
Well, it's all pop culture, and I was talking to somebody today. I'm not going to mention who it is, obviously, and there's a lot of reasons why I've kind of took a huge step back from posting and being involved like I used to. Because of that very reason, it's kind of either been watered down or it's just been saturated with ridiculous nonsensical decks like that Neopets Tarot. That's one of them. And it's we all know everybody's making money. That's fine, But to me, that isn't what tarot's about, and that's not what tarot should be. I'm not fucking gatekeeping. I'm just talking common sense here. I think we've had every single topic covered now by the tarot, and I don't think there's anything else that can be brought out. Surely not.
Speaking of the Buffy tarot, Priscilla does give a very good, how do you say, a little bit of a redaction there. She says they did fix it. So,
That now on the stage.
that's good, but still, and it's fine. There have always been fan decks.
Yeah. It's just Blackbird Barnes says favourite TV show ever, cannot stand the Buffy deck. It was also one of my favourite shows as well. And it is really irritating when you do see like things. Well, why is this even a deck? And you've got that tarot of Jane Austen and all these like this rubbish that's out now.
The Tarot of Jane Austen, isn't that like a weird playing card deck with some tarot involved?
There's actually a Los Scarabeo one from a few years ago as well that kind of pops up, I think, from time to time. It's out of print. But like, I mean, I think I kind of, as I was speaking with somebody else as well, and as I explained in my video when I was reviewing Etienne's deck yesterday, the tarot now for me has become like a deeply personal practice where I don't really feel like sharing it with anyone, because it's like opening your fucking diary, for the world to see, for me anyway. Because I've never been out there to do readings for anyone. I've never been out there, as you know, for followers or to get up in the game and stuff. I used to really enjoy what I was doing, but sadly I don't anymore. Because I can see right through it for what it is, and it's sad, really.
It is. For me, it's an amalgamation of all of these things.
Yeah.
I do still love posting tarot when I have the time to make an effort. When I do interesting readings, I love to post. Obviously, I have some decks of my own that that I kind of want to sell. There's nothing, I mean, obviously that is one of my motives to post. I mean, I could, try to say it's not, but it is, obviously. But the thing for me is also with the readings, like I used to do loads of readings, and all of that has sort of dwindled down. Also because I feel like there's, people want the flashy tarot reader with the flair who's very quick and annoying, and
Yeah, I know, Levi. I know exactly what you mean. Marmalade Life, you have just hit the nail right on the head. Christina Ricci, one Mean Girls, one All Ghastly.
Yeah.
Now, what's it called? Something full of spiders.
Cat full of spiders, tarot.
I have never seen so much shite in all my life. I really haven't, and that Mean Girls one as well. I just think it's terrible. It's really taking the piss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm glad I've kind of like stepped back. Now let me show you.
Maria Luisa says, "Are you all right, Levi? Because your deck says dead inside."
Always dead inside.
I'm always dead inside.
Yeah, it is, Nick. It's Christina Ricci one is with her every single card. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Like, she's not that interesting. Like, can we stop pretending like she is? Like, fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean, putting yourself in a deck of every single card. It reminds me of that fucking Moon Void tarot. Right, anyway, swiftly moving on. Right, now I've picked the first deck I'm going to show, and it's got absolutely no reflect. Please don't think I'm having a bitch at the creator, because I'm not. It's just decks that I find boring, that I can't, it either makes me feel like I'm missing something as a tarot reader, or maybe I'm a shit tarot reader. Because I can't see the point, or they're all for sale anyway. So my first one is aesthetically pleasing, is this one, and this one leaves me feeling cold and dead inside. And this is the Fortuna Tarot.
Oh yeah, that one.
So I have never been able to get. This is boring, right? So I've never been able to get anything out of these decks whatsoever. I don't work with things very well like this.
No.
yes, on a Tarot de Marseille reader, but these kind of decks are out there for the cool kids and the cool kids only. I find this kind of artwork really clinical. You know, I just get absolutely no emotional response from any artwork like this, and it's not just this
It
one.
is a little boring, isn't it?
Yeah, and I do find this completely boring. And it's over my head with astrology anyway. So
I
I
just actually grabbed a really good one, and it's fucking gone now. I'm so annoyed.
you lost it.
Yeah, well, but you know, I found it because I don't really have any decks that I dislike anymore, so I can't really show any. But yeah, I do have to agree with you where it's
I'll do you a deal. I've got all fucking colours of them.
yeah, Martyn has all colors, Priscilla, so he'll cut
Yeah,
you a deal.
it's
Uh,
tonight.
I mean, they're not bad. They're not bad decks per se. It's just a little like it's. I have to agree with you. It's something we've sort of seen by now. You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, these were a few years ago, and I mean, there's been many decks out since like then, and I just cannot. I've always said to you, I can't work with decks like that.
And I do love them, but to be honest, this deck I no longer have either.
Yeah,
Um, it's not one of those kit decks. This is actually an indie deck, and it's quite expensive.
yeah,
But
it is very
yeah.
expensive. Yeah,
So
all
what
right.
I can I say something?
Yeah, I was not rudely interrupted you. Yeah, sorry.
So what I really and it's funny because I actually have a good pile here of decks that have something that I love, which was actually what made me think of what I dislike in a deck, and that is when it's, and you know, obviously it's people are well in their right to still do this and to buy this, but it's very much when it's an artist that goes, "Hey, I'm really good at making art. Hey, there is something called a tarot deck that would be a nice art project, but I don't have any tarot knowledge, so I'll just sort of recreate Pamela Coleman Smith's art, but with my own twist."
Yeah, to me that doesn't warrant a good tarot deck at all.
You know, like it's usable, it's readable, but it's also, you know, we already have the RWS, so it makes
We
it kind of
do, and it's just another variation of it. Even though there's some really lovely ones out
yeah.
there. I mean, I love the one that I had from Mel a couple of months ago. I forgot his name. He sells it on my playing
Yeah,
cards.
I mean, there's like 20,000, but there's 20,000 lovely ones, and you don't
Yeah,
need all of them. So when people are like, "Oh, I need that deck because it's that special and that amazing," unless you're a really big fan of the artist, it really isn't because you could get any RWS type deck. You know?
yeah, and it's sad as I said, like to see, like because you could do it a whole lot more. But maybe it's because I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's quick and simple. I don't know. I'm an artist, so
I actually love it when an artist takes the, you know, lets all the even I love it even when they let all the pre-existing symbolism go, let it all go, do a meditative journey within themselves, and recreate art according to what that core essence of that card is.
yeah, it would be good to see that. And there is
You know?
some people who've really done that, you know. Not very many, might I add, but there is. It's like, oh, what's the name? I do know. Is it Maria who did the Tarot Contempura? Oh, yeah. Which one is it called? Maria who did? Is it Maria who did the Thoth, the recent Tarot Contempura? I think it is.
Oh, you mean that? But that's also a clone, honestly,
It
though.
is a clone, but like I mean, at least she's put like her own kind of spin on it.
A little bit. Sorry, I have to disagree, love.
No, you can disagree. It's fine, but that is the problem. Possibly, I do not like, and I will say this, and I do not like inverted decks like the Deviant Moon, where he's just made money from doing all kinds of different colours of the
Now
same.
there's a blue one. Now there's a red one. Now there's a pink one. Now there's a yellow one.
I don't like it. It's the same
Yeah.
with the Time Pocket Oracle I've got. I think it's called that. I've got the purple one and the normal one. The only reason why I've got them is because I picked them up from basically next to nothing from eBay. I would
And
never.
no, and then also when these creators pretend like those color variants have different voices.
It's ridiculous. It's
This
rubbish.
one is so direct, like it speaks so directly to me, way
Yeah.
more than the purple one. And I'm like, girl, shut
It,
up.
yeah,
It doesn't. Like,
yeah.
shut up.
Hurting the colours on the Rider-Waite Smith, and you see all the gold goody line editions. Fuck off, it's boring. You know what
Like,
I mean?
some people really need to stop living in a fucking fantasy world,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Now let me
It
show you.
pisses me off.
I'll show you my next boring deck. Now this is a boring deck. Again, it's nothing to do with the creator. It's the way I feel about it. Now this is the Compendium of Constellations by Claire Goodchild.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are going to love this, but I absolutely don't, because all you've got is a picture of the same bloody moon with different things on it and a keyword on the bottom. I think this is boring because it does nothing for me at all. You know,
A more
again,
interesting take maybe would have been an illustrative version of the constellation, you know?
well, yeah, again, it's an astrology deck for me, so it's completely over me. But the good thing is you have got a keyword at the bottom. I thought that
This is the best version of this, because there's also a keywordless
I
version.
actually
And I'm
thought
like,
that said scrotum and it says sputum. So so sorry. But yeah, it's just the same old again, whatever that's supposed to mean. Sorry to all the astrologers here. Triangularium, fucking Australe, masculine. Okay, whatever.
I do quite like it. However, I must admit that it does look a bit boring.
I just, yeah,
Like, it's not, yeah, how do you say this? Not everything has to be a product for the masses. Like, for example, I remember once hearing an interview with Colette Baron Reed where she told that her first deck, and I highly doubt this is true because that woman is full of shit, but where the first deck she did was that Wisdom of Avalon one.
yeah,
And that used to be just the card titles and keywords, key phrases written on a blank pack of playing cards.
yeah. Well,
And then, and you could, and anyone can do that. And not everything that is that has to be turned into an actual commercial deck for
well,
sale.
it's in it. I just, for me, I mean, everything about this. I mean, I even hate the box because it looks really cheap and nasty.
It
Uh,
does. Like, and she's such a classy woman and creator
She's
normally.
absolutely lovely, and I love the Antique Anatomy Tarot. It's nothing, as I said, it's not a reflection on Claire. It's
No.
just, obviously, I can't use it because I think it's boring.
But decks like these are giving study flashcards that were oopsies printed professionally.
Yeah, and it doesn't do, as Nicholas just said, like, it doesn't do nothing for me, because I'm not into astrology whatsoever.
If people are really into constellations, they might like it.
Yeah,
I do like
probably.
it.
And I think it's really cheap as well. So like, I mean, I had it gifted me like about 18 months ago, so I wouldn't know the price of it. But yeah, there's a lot like kind of out there that now they think, oh, do you really want to buy that? And don't even start me on them. Fucking hell, don't even start me on them cards with the 13 decks with the 13 cards in. Buy that.
Those. I was actually just looking at one of them, and I was like,
don't. There's a new one out now, isn't there?
yeah, the love one. Yeah, I mean, at least they're affordable now. They used to be expensive AF when they were on Etsy. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Why bring a deck of 13 cards out? What's the point of that?
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, I don't really get it. You know what? You showed me this deck just now, and it kind of made me think of a little flashcard style project that I did for myself, which was that chakra deck, which eventually turned into a tarot deck. But I never really did anything special. Some things you can just fling on make playing cards for funsies.
Yeah, for people to buy if they want to buy it.
Not everything has to be like full blown production. Nah.
Now, before we move on to the nice thing, can I just tell you my last deck, which I think is, and everybody's going to be surprised about it, apart from Mel. I know Mel wouldn't like it. But like, you know what? Apart from every card looking the same,
Show me.
This is the Earthly Moons and Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know what, Martin? It is kind of I do love it. Like but I don't make a point out of using it a lot. Like it's
Boring. And it looks another one as well. Like the illustrations don't match the keywords on the cards. I
yeah,
mean,
I mean it's nice, but is there a lot? Well, people are gonna hate us saying this, but has there a lot of thought been put into the keywords slash keyword art combinations? I don't think.
no, and I knew you would, Mel, because this is why I love you. You're right. I know I love the pictures, and Mel says you're right. It's foil.
That used to be one of my favorites for a while, but yes, some of the meanings in the book don't match the keywords. Nah.
So I can't understand what joyous has to do with a fox trying to sniff up her frock. I don't know. So
And then at least and even with so because I only picked tarot decks too for the decks that I love. And some of these tarot decks look basic as fuck, but then they have a guidebook, for example, that does something really interesting and good. And this isn't one of those decks where I'm like, okay, the art is gorgeous, the keywords are a little nonsensical. And this was a make playing cards deck for years for a reason.
I'm very much of the fact that something has to be consistent all through for me to work. Does any oracle have that consideration? What do you mean? What does that mean?
What consideration, Joni? Because there are, speaking of oracle decks that do, for example, this is one that I still
Oh,
like.
love it. Still love it.
This has art that really matches the keywords, and then I picked this because it's also very much a tarot oracle hybrid.
It's
It's
lovely.
interesting.
It really is nice. Do you like that one, Mel? It's ever such a nice deck.
It's really good because it's usable as an oracle deck just with the keywords, and then there are spell suggestions in the guidebook in a way that I really love. Because let me tell you something: there's nothing that I hate more than a full blown spell book.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of did that in my guidebook, which I kind of regret now. But then again, nah, whatever. But how they did it is there is just spell ingredients, and then you can sort of, create a spell with it as you like.
It's
And you don't have to be into spells to use it because every card has a usable keyword. Let me do a little reading for Martin right now as we are live on air.
if anybody on here, and in the UK especially, has that oracle, please
What?
call the Living Altar Oracle.
The Living Altar Oracle. Yes, I
Yeah,
have heard of that. Yeah.
you love that actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I quickly want to pull you some cards because I want you and because we've got the time, but this is definitely one. And there are lots of oracles that, I tried to do it within mine where I'm like, where I try to match the art to the card meaning in the guidebook. So yeah.
Yeah.
So let me pull you a couple of cards actually. So for Martin, what is very important right now is this is interesting. You got one of the weird sisters, so that's cool.
What
What
does it?
came to be? So that isn't that the last one? No, it will become. Oh, this is the first one. So this is about something in your past that's playing a part in your life right now. That needs to be awakened. So it's a spell for awakening. So it's like
Well,
you have does that resonate a little bit?
it really does. Yeah.
There you go. So there's a little bit going on in your past that you need to, I don't know, that needs to be woken up. But then also we also got the spell for grounding. So we need to be a little less frantic about that energy and keep it grounded.
I
Yeah.
am like I can't say too much obviously on here because it's not public knowledge yet. But I have kind of like held back a bit because I was getting a bit too excited about what I told you and Mel.
Yeah, Martin is working on a little personal project.
Yeah, and I have kind of like reined it in a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's
Because
good.
I was like putting all my energy and time into that and not doing my other stuff. So thank you for that. That really did help.
So this is definitely not. So this is why I never liked this deck when it was indie, because I thought it was just a stupid spell deck. But every card has a usable keyword.
Yeah, it's
Basically.
good. I do like it. Obviously the decks that I have been using is just like I tend to be using the same decks now all the time because I haven't got. I mean, my indie decks are right by me, so I can like rotate them if I want to. But
Yeah.
since I've had it, I've been using the Magdalene deck by Etienne.
Yeah, that's another one where I'm like, she really like. But last time we talked about it, there were also a lot of people that didn't like it. Fair enough. But those are very original depictions of the essence of the card.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's how it is. And I mean, I did a review for it yesterday. I don't know who's watched it and who hasn't.
I
And I
have
was
not yet, but I will.
transparent, and I says, I understand that the Etienne's decks are expensive, and I says, but the amount of work that goes into them, and I said it is kind of an investment anyway. It ain't something.
I've kind of turned around on my former statements. I probably rather buy a deck like that
Yeah,
than if I could only get one deck a year. I'd rather buy one deck like that
it's
than
free.
12 crappy mass market ones.
That you end up bloody selling. I mean, look at this little Martyn and Levi. She looks like she's been made out of silk.
Really stunning. Yeah, wow.
I think it's 3D printed, like, but she's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So like I haven't really got anything like my current favourites are ones that I've always said they're current favourites anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Can I show you some decks where I feel like they're sort of, well, they're not underrated because most of them are in the mass market, but where I feel like they're highly original depictions and types of decks that barely get any credit. Can I show some?
Yeah, yeah, I would love to see that.
One of them is Dreams of Gaia.
Well, I've got it and I don't use it because I've never been able to get my head around it.
Well, I have, and once you do, it's lovely. This is the pocket version. And it's actually, very, very stunning. Like, look at that Three of Pentacles. How stunning is
I also
that?
like it because I've never got rid of it, so that speaks volumes for me,
I
really.
mean, it is something extremely like this, especially the minors in this. Oh, I almost dropped them on the ground. Yay. Especially the minors and especially the suit of Earth really, really, really speaks to how I read minors in general. And then the major arcana is a bit of a stretch for me sometimes, but I can work with it. And they're just so, I don't know, they're just so special and so
Yeah, I
stunning.
do really like the artwork. I
Like,
mean,
she really took the tarot and flipped it on its head. And yeah, it is a bit neo-pagan. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it is. It is
But
not.
at least it's not Buffy and Xander and Spike and whatever that other bitch's name is on the four of wands holding four fucking wands. Like
As well, I found the guidebook very frustrating for Dreams of God. It does go on a bit, doesn't it?
this is another one. This is another pocket one that I love, love, love.
Oh, you know what? That is absolutely lovely.
And you'd think, why the fuck does Levi have this? This is so basic. It's very basic RWS.
Lovely
Uh,
though. Pretty sweet.
it's lovely. It's sweet. And then let me.
It reminds me very much of a younger version of the Tarot of the Moon Garden.
A little bit, yeah. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like if you're if you really want to get the Tarot of the Moon Garden, but you hate the new US Games edition with the horribly cut borders, get this instead.
But I'll tell you what, they absolutely ruined that Tarot of the Moon Garden.
Yeah. So this is really cute, but it's way more than that because this is actually something that I use a lot as a creative jumping off point whenever I do something creative.
Yeah.
So I've pulled Queen of Daggers now, and the magic is in the little guidebook because
I've had it for a few years. I had when I used to review for Rockpool, didn't I?
yeah, I got it for a $5 at TK Maxx.
Yeah, yeah.
The mermaid tended to her young while carrying on a conversation with me, seemingly giving her full attention to both of us. I was exhausted, frustrated, and feeling lost when I came across her, living in a small lake buried deep in the woods. She kept a large sword nearby, but never seemed threatening. She was kind and listened to my troubles. Sit, eat, rest. Why are you rushing to nowhere? She asked me. She breastfed her young and offered me some food. She was somehow able to provide me with guidance, sustenance, and kindness without ever making me feel like a burden. So every card has a little story that's just
Wait, Denny.
so it's so fucking amazing. People never talk about this, and I'm like, and yet people fucking queef whenever Baba Studios releases another piece of shit with gold leaf foiling on it.
I know.
Get this.
Let me just go back to the comments because I think it was Sarah who just said there was Living Altar Oracle is on eBay. Thanks, Sarah.
But it's a bit expensive, isn't it?
Expensive. But I also love the Squid Cake what's it called? Squid Cake Marseille by Sam.
Yeah. The thing with this one is just I was completely blown away by the contents of this little package. So
Nick, you ain't missing nothing, love. I said there's never on Studios deck.
Another one that I love that I find highly original is this.
Oh yeah, I love that. Do you know I found that out today? And I pulled a couple of cards out. I absolutely love it.
This is a Thoth inspired deck, but it's not very if you wouldn't know it was a tarot deck, you wouldn't have any idea,
Yeah.
But this just has such good like even if the art isn't your cup of tea, this has such good text on the card. So what do you need to take the first step?
Yeah.
Really, really thought-provoking. The Tower. Pain is growing. How fucking fabulous is that?
It's brilliant. It's just one of my favorite ever decks, that is.
This is probably one of the best decks I have. I gotta be fair. Fair. You only fail when you stop trying. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 6 of cups. Failure.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
He who learns must suffer. 3 of Swords.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Aye. Scylla, I don't understand cold fall stamping either. I totally agree with you.
It looks so fucking tacky. I'm so glad that it's kind of over. Like,
yeah, I think it does as well. Talking of which, you know that deck I bought from Glastonbury?
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called now. Anyway, the one with all the plants on it. So I'm doing a review of that tomorrow. I'm doing a review of that tomorrow on my YouTube channel.
And
I absolutely love it. I don't, however, like all the bullshit in the front of the guidebook. Yeah.
Okay, so we have.
I will kind of touch on it tomorrow. Mel, I do as well. I want it really bad as well, and I can't find it. The Elvine.
Yeah, same. I want it. I need it. I actually thought you had it, Mel, because Martyn and I were talking about it, and Martyn was
talking about that the other day, wasn't I?
Yeah, and Martyn was like, I think Mel has it, but yeah, I really want it too. She's so funny though. You should probably ask her because it's so funny. This says Ekta Spåman Oracle and Tarot, and Ekta Spåman means real fortune teller. So this says real fortune teller, Oracle and Tarot.
Real, I love it. Maybe one of us should message Linda and ask her.
Yeah, just ask her, because honestly, this was 9 out of 10. Pretty sure this was printed by Make Playing Cards, so she could probably send you a copy for relatively.
Yeah. God, that's weird. We was talking about that, and Mel's just mentioned it.
Yeah. So it was called I can't even find anything about that on her website anymore. Like it's never there. Yeah. So I already talked about this. Because once again, it has highly original structure takes. This is going to be a hot take. People are going to roll their eyes and laugh, but I always like Radley's work.
Oh, dog, because you know what, right? You know what lives on here with me, and I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Hang on, no, I haven't. This is the old Kyle Gray one. My Radley one. Oh, my Radley one's in the drawer. But yeah, I absolutely love them.
Because this has
I
so
don't
many this has so many cool things on there because it has the number, it has the element, it has the archangel the card is connected to. It has what else does it have? What the hell?
Mel, just no.
Mel's such a fucking bitch, like for real, like.
The fucking cow,
Oh,
right?
and then it also has the major arcana number that it's connected to. So you could, it adds layers in that sense that you could look at your sped and see maybe, oh, Archangel Raguel is stepping forward a lot. Let me look up some info on him.
Well, I absolutely love Radley's decks, and Nicola does as well, and Levi. So, what Mel, you're outnumbered, and Scylla also loves it as well. So there you
Well,
go.
I honestly, I used to love the Guardian Angel one more. The new one. My favorite of his is the old Guardian Angel one that you gifted me, Martin. The very kitschy one.
Yeah,
But out of the modern ones, this one is my favorite because of all these added layers that they added to the
yeah,
to
it's
the.
nice and sweet, and you can just if you don't want to think about anything, there's a message on the bottom.
Yeah. I love. Once again, like it doesn't look artsy and it's not like some crappy collage bullshit, that makes you look like you're a complete diva and I don't know, but it's it's not cool, but it's good. You can really tell his heart and soul went into it. Even when you look at the guidebook, it is like one of the thickest Hay House guidebooks I've ever seen. Like
Well, you
this
know what?
man is convicted of wanting to
Let me
share
tell
his
you
tarot
something.
knowledge.
Right, what lives on here is something I've had for 20 odd years, and this is my original Doreen Virtue healing with.
Healing with the angels.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't care. I love it, and it gives great readings.
Yes.
It's brilliant, and yeah, I mean, I couldn't care less what anybody thinks.
I have her healing with the fairies, and it's one of my favorite
Yeah,
decks, to be
yeah.
fair.
Sometimes you have to go back to what makes you feel happy, and
Exactly. Um,
it is glossy, yeah, really glossy. No, you know
this
what? That one.
this is not always my cup of tea, but if I'm honest, what she did in this deck, sorry.
Oh my god!
Guess you're
Fucking
Which one is it though? Like I love that mountain.
I am so shocked.
So this white sage tarot is cool because she uses this, it's very pippish, which I like, especially back when this came out in the
Something.
mass when
There's
this came
two.
out in the mass market, there was no pip decks ever being published. But what I do like is if you're into chakras, all the miners have these colored ribbons in them,
Colours for the chakras. I am shocked, Mel. I am shocked, and so is Levi.
and you can kind of, I don't know, like string a bit of a chakra reading together as well next to your tarot card meaning. So
Yeah, yeah, it's nice.
she really put a lot of effort into this, and sometimes it's just something about the rawness of someone's first deck.
Yeah,
If I'm honest, I even have that with my first deck. When I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is so not perfect, but it's so raw and
but I
real.
love it, don't I? That first one. The
Yeah,
thing I've never kind of like, I appreciate Teresa as a person, as an artist, but I'm not into all that kind of Eastern yoga, chakra, and stuff like that.
I mean, I love this. I love her Oracle in the Pink Box that Priscilla has as well.
Yeah.
I love them together as well. I did try the green one, the Nature Spirit one. I got that for really cheap off of Dutch eBay, but it wasn't for me. It
Yeah,
was
I
all
struggle. Well,
with all the people in it,
yeah.
all the creepy Asian mystics in it. I
You
didn't
know
jive.
what? I'll tell you what I wouldn't, I don't think I would now, because I appreciate it for what it is. And I know we've both had it in the past. I don't know whether you had it or not. And that was the Poppy Pile in Everyday Enchantment Tarot. Did you have that?
No, because I didn't like the way people's teeth look like bad British teeth in the deck. Sorry.
Fuck you.
Well, you asked me if I had it, and that's the reason why I didn't.
Well, yes, some of the drawings, and I'm not going to be me.
Sorry.
Puppy's passed away now, but somebody's been using it on Instagram. I don't know who it is. And you can fuck off and all silla, right? And you, Mel. Some of the I don't know who it is. Somebody's been using it on Instagram the last
Yeah.
week, and the pictures do really tell a story. But yeah, Mel, it is a bit creepy.
But it is also very cute. What I didn't like is, very typical of the tarot community. She died, and it wasn't like 5 minutes after her death was announced, and people were already jacking up prices of that deck on
Oh
eBay.
my god, it was sold out on Amazon for
Like,
months.
fucking hell! Like,
Yeah.
start acting like a human being. Like,
The thing is, nobody fucking bought it when it was alive, did they?
no, it was never really considered one of the hip cool decks. Not at all.
No. The worst one ever that I've seen, and Mel sent me, I don't know, Mel sent me a parcel a couple of years ago. And it had one of those hip chick tarot cards in it. Do you remember that hip chick tarot?
Yeah, I also remember. So hold up, you fucking bitch, because I have a screenshot saved still of Martyn's. I'm not going to share that ever, but I'm just going to keep it as leverage of Martyn's former Amazon account, which he's been banned from because he can no
Yeah,
longer post reviews.
nice. 10
And
years.
I actually know, Martyn, for a fact that you bought said deck with your own money.
Did 10 fucking years ago, or whenever it come out, and it's absolutely vile.
And you gave a glowing review on Amazon.
I did, but I don't like it now. It looks all cartoony and nasty and all 2D. I do own up to owning the Chick Tarot, but I don't like it now. Mel, why did you put that spare card in? Did you lose it or something?
Maybe sometimes I have like some Schiffer decks where sometimes they have a little whoopsie poopsie and there's an extra card in it or something. So maybe it was that.
Well, Maria said she couldn't keep Poppy's deck after she died. It felt wrong.
You can imagine.
Yeah, really, really sad. Anyway, what else have you got, bitch?
This.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about like this is even like obviously Lennox had a lot of work creating this, but even when you curate art, you know what I really fucking hate when we get like classical art decks like these and they plonk 7 pictures of cups on top of a card.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really, really glad that, for example, Lennox didn't do that and went online to look for the essence of that card fitting within the theme of the deck that she was curating, rather than picking some pretty classical art and plonking 7 sort of Renaissance cups onto.
Yeah. Well, you just reminded me. Do you remember a few months ago when that random stranger messaged me on Instagram? Guys, this random stranger messaged me on Instagram and I said, "Do you like the card?" And I says, "Not really. It looks pretty shit to me. Why uses it?" And he says, "Oh, I'm creating a new deck." So that kind of killed the whole conversation.
No, it did not at all. You were very kind, and then Martyn.
I was really nice to him at first, and then like he kept on saying like, I said critiques, no, that's not very good. And then he got a bit salted in a, and he said, "Oh, I'll take what you said on board." And then he blocked me after that. So
He messaged Martyn and said, "I would love some critiques. I would love some feedback." And Martyn was being a complete bitch, so he did the right thing and he messaged me and he said, "Hey, can you help me because this kid wants some feedback and he's nice enough, but I'm going to be a complete raging lunatic. So can you help me?" So I did.
But he didn't like what you said or I said.
No, because what I said was all these forced pip symbols are complete, because the art was actually pretty good.
It wasn't his art, was it?
Was it not?
I don't think so, no. I think it was curated one like the next, but he did exactly what Levi's just said. He superimposed. There was like picked ones, and it was like that prominent when it's on top of the artwork.
It completely like blocks the art. And if you find the right image when you're curating an art deck, you don't have to plonk those fucking wands on there. Like you don't.
No, has to blend in and to be effective and do what Lennox has done. I mean, Lennox is kind of like found artwork that kind of relates to the meaning of the card, isn't she?
Yeah, and then also do that layer of Finnish folklore that you wanted,
And also Reese's Pensive Path Tarot as well.
Yeah, and also the Tarot of Aphrodite. I think that one's pretty good as well.
Yeah, but sometimes it can work. But like if you're just gonna bang, Cold Stamp as
Yeah.
it looks crap. It kind of like overlays everything on the card, doesn't it?
I have two more.
Bloody hell, that's really weird. That is because I picked that up earlier as well.
You wouldn't say. Well, once again, this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. This is probably one of the best decks I own.
Yeah.
And it's very abstract and it's very out there and it's a very gorgeous representation of the meaning of the card. But it's not so on the nose,
It's just that's another kind of Thoth variation as well, though.
I do love me a good Thoth variation. So
it is. It's lovely. The guidebook's something else, isn't it?
I gotta be honest, like yes, but it's not. But then again, it's not like the Millennium Thoth where it's a straight up Thoth clone.
No, it's not. No, it's kind
or
of
that horrible Aleister Crowley deck. Do you remember that
yeah,
one?
I love the book. Yeah. Scylla says, in my opinion, laying on things is not necessary. If, like you said, choose the right art and write a great guidebook. Yeah, exactly.
If you really, really, really get that distracted by the actual 6 cups not being there, can you even read?
Well, yeah.
Like legit, like I'm not even saying can you even read tarot, but are you maybe illiterate because the title of the card is always there?
But exactly. It's not rocket science, is it really?
Yeah. Like I've never understood that. Like, are people legit sitting there counting each? I did that once with that Fauna Bell Tarot because they didn't put any numerals on the cards, so you had to count the fucking bubbles to see, and that also says a lot about the representation of the art meaning in the card.
Yeah. Well, do you remember that Laughing Eye, Weeping Eye tarot?
That was never for me.
Yeah, well, I had that years and years ago from Beth, and then Simon pointed out, Simon Hermit Cave Simon, because he said it bothered him that there was either 8 or 9 peoples when there should be 8 or something like that, and I never knew until he pointed it out.
Remember when when it was it like Pentacles with the Wild Unknown? Remember?
Yeah, but we didn't know that, did you? And you know what somebody said, what Nick said to me earlier, which is going to make you laugh. She said she can't read with the Wild Unknown anymore because somebody pointed out on a Facebook group the sun looks like a ring piece.
Ah, it does. Yeah. Animal decks that don't give reference to the choice of animal.
Oh, yeah. I said that before millions of times,
Yeah. To be honest, like I also dislike over explaining guidebooks. Like I really don't need to know every little reason why you chose like little bits in the artwork. Like I don't need to know everything.
Yeah, not every. I mean, yeah, there's some. There's a good, nice, extensive guidebook, and then there's a little bit too far in that.
So like I said, I'm only human, and sometimes for example, with my own tarot deck, I did not do that at all. Sort of as a counter movement because everybody was doing that at the time. Like,
yeah.
I chose this color blue because blah blah blah, and it represents my dead mother, and I don't care.
Yeah.
But looking back, and obviously I'm not going to reprint shit because I'm not made of money. But looking back, yeah, I probably should have like included a little bit of more of that in the guidebook. But then again, for example, I'm going to pull one of my favorite cards right now because I have it right here.
Yeah, but you did necessarily have to write a guidebook at all because you've got the little affirmation statements on your
Yeah,
deck.
but then again, I also kind of like the idea of people seeing this killer whale or orca on this card and
Yeah,
thinking, hey, what would that have to do with the meaning of this card, and doing a little research themselves, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of how I sort of went about it. But, yeah, it would have been
Nice.
nice.
Like Lennox is putting a guidebook. I mean, Lennox's guidebook's, just perfect because she's explained and then give a little bit of text and that's it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's nice, it's straight to the point, and you
yeah.
don't need a 365 page guidebook with every deck, do you?
No, like you don't really need to. And, how many times do you really read through it, and how many times do you really use it?
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Sometimes it's worth it. For example, with the Mother Mary tarots,
Yeah, well, Mel, funny you should say, because yes, I am looking forward to Linda's Redstone Tarot. I don't like UC decks at all.
No, I fucking hate UC decks. Oh,
Yeah, them too much of an art project for me instead of something being usable.
yeah, UC decks literally have no. Oh, sorry, I'm such a fucking bitch, but they literally have very little to do with tarot, in my opinion. But
Yeah, and it's the same. I was never a fan of the Pagan of the Worlds, as you know.
I mean, they're really good decks. Like, don't get me wrong here.
Yeah.
They're really good decks, but it's too much of, oh, we're an art studio and we're so fancy. And we
Yeah.
write horrible, horrible guidebooks to our decks that cost 40 fucking pounds that you need to purchase extra. Like,
Fuck, the biggest rip-off ever was when I bought the guidebook for the Pagan of the Worlds Tarot. What a complete rip-off it was.
yeah. I
Yeah.
actually had that stupid periodic table deck they did.
Oh, yeah. Amanda. Hello.
Hi. They remember that one. I used to have it, and you had to have the guidebook for it, and it was
Yeah.
such a pompous piece of rubbish. Like,
Yeah. I didn't like it either. There's one for sale now. Watkins, is that the one?
I don't know.
I'm keen.
You know which one I really, really love? The one by Tiana.
Tiana.
Might actually like that. Might actually be like I can't make any promises because my car needs to go into the shop again.
Again. You've
So
only just
yeah, yeah. I know. I'll tell you all about it later. But Tiana actually did this one,
Oh God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you
and I may at least at some point pick up the cute little pink version of that.
It's absolutely lovely. Well done. Well done, Tiana.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know who Tiana is, there she is.
Yes.
And she's on Instagram as well. And she has just created the most loveliest decks. So have yourself a little look, see.
Yeah, I didn't even know that she was working on it. I didn't even know she did art. I didn't even know
Neither
she.
did I.
When I saw her using that deck a bunch, I was like, oh, she must really like that deck, and it's pretty cool, and it's
Yeah, I wonder where it
real.
was from. And I'm sorry I underestimated it, Tiana, but I didn't think he was a deck creator. And
No,
I
no,
thought
no, no.
that's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, well done.
It reminds me of a better version of the autonomic tarot.
Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. It does.
Yeah,
It's lovely. Really nice. Mel says she likes it as well.
yeah.
Um, did you see it? Hang on. Did you see it, Silla? I did post. Levi just showed you the page.
Yeah, Tiana is in the chat right here. So yeah,
You're
she's
welcome. You are very welcome. So yeah, that's the only one I'm looking forward to, Mel, is Linda's new one. I'm also looking forward to the Greenwood Tarot, even though I had an argument with Mark Ryan over on Facebook about a month ago, because to me it should be called the Cheska Potter Tarot or something like that. And he got all fucking cocky and arrogant, and there you go. But it didn't stop me from backing the deck because I want it, So
yeah. It's probably the only way you'll ever be able to
have
grab.
you seen the money they've got for it?
Yeah. Like they really, really, really underestimated the chokehold that deck has on the community.
It was like, yeah, exactly, Mel. It was just like the old, like, how many people signed up for it, and I said, oh, we're money printing fucking 100 copies. You know what I mean? And
No, you're not. You're printing as much as necessary, you daft
that,
cunt.
yeah, I know. And it was the old, like, oh, don't speak to me like that because I am the dog's bollocks and all that.
Yeah,
I'll go,
yeah, yeah. Like some of these spiritual people are so not in touch with like real life.
no. And what I would like to ask, if anybody is here in this room, if anybody knows, could somebody explain to me what exactly did Mark Ryan have to do with the deck apart from the guidebook? Does anybody know that? It's like Edward White. What exactly did he have to do with the artwork in the deck of Pamela's? I don't know.
Not a whole lot. Like I know that Arthur Edward Waite only sort of gave some instructions for the majors, but it was more like a vanity project, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he sort of left Pamela to do her own thing with the minors.
See, because Cheska Potter's not around anymore, and nobody can find her. It's difficult to kind of like put your finger on, what's going on here. But like, I mean, I'm glad I'm going to get me a copy, but my copy from Maria will always be my favorite.
Yeah, thanks to Maria, I was able to make my own. So thank you, Maria.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Maria.
Speaking of the complete fucking polar opposite of something as deep and cool as not the Wildwood Tarot. What's the name? Is it the Wildwood? No,
Green.
it's the Greenwood. Complete polar opposite, but also something I really love, even though it is highly unoriginal in its art and in its artful depictions.
Oh God, yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
don't know what. Well, I do know what it is. Like this is very kitschy. Once again, Mel, please roll your fucking eyes at me. It's very Hay Housey. It's very kitschy. It's very lovely. I really love this art style,
I love it, honestly. I
even though
absolutely
it's
love.
highly uncool and not dope and not artsy and not amazing, but it is something that I love. But what I really do love, what makes this deck for me, is the little write-ups in the guidebook. They have star mantras for each card that it's very easy to make up a fucking mantra and just whatever. Yeah. Haha. Okay. It's very easy to make up a little mantra and be like, oh yeah, I'm just writing down some bullshit and it will sell. But these girls really really write stuff that really, I don't know, like I have, because this is a deck where I always pick up the guidebook to see what they have to say about the cards.
Yeah,
And I always, always, always love, love, love it. This deck has made me cry like a couple of times, and that never fucking happens.
it's
Like,
really lovely. And I take it. Sorry to interrupt. I take it, Amanda. You do mean Pamela Coleman Smith and not Pamela Chen.
yeah, I was wondering. Um, I pulled the Chariot earlier in a reading that I will post to my Instagram, and the star mantra is, I am unstoppable. I'm focused and determined to achieve my goals. It sounds really simple, but there's something so good about the writing in this that just really, 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 it really strikes a good nerve with me in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. It is a nice deck. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm interested now to find out who the frame Pamela Fox is.
Pamela Coleman Smith. Yeah.
Okay. I thought, oh God, we've got a Pamela Chen stalker in the room.
You know what's really cool, by the way, if you buy the big version of the AGM Mueller Thoth Tarot.
I can't get that from bloody anywhere.
No, I did get it because I wanted to make a really nice little like bigger trimmed version for myself, which I love. But you do get a lovely photo card of Lady Frida Harris in there.
Nice, isn't it?
And then on the back it's this old cunt, but look at her.
Did you, Mel? I'll have to have a look. He was my idol when I was growing up, you bitch.
Yeah, mine too. Like people like obviously he said horrible things, but then again, all men did back then. So
showman. He was a showman. He was just out to shock.
He
And
was just honestly just trolling, I think.
yeah.
Trolling people, shocking people. He was probably lovely.
The
However, just like with the RWS, he had very little to do with the creation of this.
exactly. He was just heavily into orgies and shock. You know, the shockability factor, wasn't he?
Yeah, like this is all Pamela Coleman Smith, basically, or all Lady Frida Harris, basically.
Yeah. It's brilliant. I mean, it's
She
just
even financed the whole thing.
the letters in the London Milo Duquette books. Book history. Yeah.
He's sending her like some really vague descriptions, like highly esoteric, and she's like, "What the fuck? No, this is the new AGM Mueller
Bro, I
version.
can't get it from Amazon. Mel's just said has got it from eBay.
You can probably get it if you go to the Dutch Amazon or the German Amazon. You'll be able to find it. But like I said, when you order it, obviously it comes with all the borders and the titles intact. So the cards are about this big
Yeah.
when you order it, but when you trim all the fucking borders off, this is what you're left with.
Exactly, man. You know, that's exactly what he was. He was a notorious person, and he loved the attention. He was probably a real attention whore, wasn't he? You know.
Like, but Lady Frida Harris was so fucking smart, and she studied like trigonometry that she wanted to use in her art, and that's why her art is so weird and has weird perspectives. And she didn't really like painting people, which you can tell because she's not super good at it. Like some of the people in the Thoth do look a bit off kilter, but
Yeah.
it's hands down one of my favorite decks ever. Like, wow.
There you go. Mel says because of the exhibition, the large side sold out even at AGM.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
we should have got that book, shouldn't we? When we was in Glastonbury, the women of the women of the Golden Dawn.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty good book. Like, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, we should have got.
I wish they would have. They really should have given the women a bigger voice because especially judging from. But even like this little guidebook inside the deck box, look at the fab picture.
Pretty cool, that is. Yeah,
it's not half bad. It's pretty dope actually.
Yeah. I'll have a look for that. I'm gonna have a look for that. You know what Sarah told me to look for. This has been absolutely lovely seeing you all here tonight.
Yeah, it's been, hasn't it? And I did love talking about what we're kind of done with seeing. Like there's just there because I believe there's still so much fun to be had with the tarot, honestly.
I don't know. I
know you're kind of over it. You're kind of jaded. You're kind of deluded. You've seen it all. People have fucked you over one too many times. I know.
Yeah. I don't know what can be possibly done anymore. Obviously people, I'm all appreciative people keep creating art.
To be fair though, like from the creator's point of view, Martyn, especially with the people that make money, tarot is the only thing that really sells.
Yeah,
that's why people keep pumping out same old shit after same old shit.
Yeah, because for it, that's why. And people do like even though we absolutely hate on them. There's some people who really adore these cutesy decks and things like that.
There's nothing wrong with cutesy decks, but like I said, this is really cutesy, but it has a whole fucking storybook in the little guidebook.
Yeah, not pop culture, is it? And that's what I mean.
Cutesy, no.
Pop culture thing that's like kind of killed it for me, and all that Marvel bullshit and everything.
Yeah, like who fucking cares? Like honestly, like.
Yeah, I do love cutesy decks as well.
Yeah, me too.
I would say no to a never-ending story tarot. Thank you, Nicola. We don't want that one either.
Well, I wouldn't say no to it either, but like there are like that Last Unicorn tarot is really good.
What's good that you gifted me, and I absolutely love it. The Pastel Unicorn tarot.
Pretty good, eh?
It's so sweet. Yeah, it's something. Yeah, it's really special. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
But thank you everyone for coming. We love you all, and we really appreciate like you coming on and supporting us. And I'm gonna do that review tomorrow with that Glastonbury deck. You know,
Yeah, do it. I can't wait to hear more about it. So do it.
yeah, yeah. You know, there's always something you weren't happy with in that, but 9 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you will all see. So, yeah, thank you. We will speak to you all soon, and
Love you all.
don't forget, Silla, if you do seriously want these decks, I will give you a good price on them.
Yeah, like they're not bad. The guidebook is good. Like she did fabulous astrology
Yeah,
write-ups in
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Just
So
get them off Martyn's back and help him
you
help
stay
her
there,
out.
Earl.
Will.
Thank you for coming, and we'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.